is the first chapter about life and death. It's about the big circles of life. To answer the question, when I start to live and I stop to live, the question is, where does my material body come from and where does it go? Well, the short answer is basically soil. It all comes from the soil and goes back to the soil. But to understand this, just imagine a plant. You put the seed into the soil, starts to grow bigger, starts to produce vegetables, if it's a vegetable plant, and then part of it is harvested and the rest is eventually dying and composting and going back to the soil. Now, if I was just created in my mother's belly, my mother is harvesting this fruit or vegetables and nourishing her body and nourishing my tiny body in her body. So my body is coming from these plants that come from the soil. Then my mother gives birth to me. I drink from her breast. I eat from the food that she gives to me. And all this food, again, comes from the garden, comes from the soil. Now I spend my life and I'm eating a lot of things and I'm peeing and pooing a lot of things. So the material goes into me, goes out of me. But whatever I keep as my body comes from the soil, comes from the plant. Now, when I die, I rot away, I'm composting, and I return to the soil again. This also means that the particles that make up my body right now, they were alive many, many times before in other creatures. These particles come from different corners of the universe, and for a long time they are on this planet Earth. They are circulating around, going to the soil, going back into a living creature, going back to the soil, going into gas, going into water, going into solid state. So for this material part, it comes from a huge distance, spread out over the universe. It's accumulating to be alive in me now. And during my life, part of these particles is already leaving my body, starts to be dead again. And after my life, my body spreads again out into this world, eventually into this universe. It's a big circle. The same is true for thoughts, words and actions. When I grow up, I experience a lot of words, I experience a lot of actions from other people. I experience communication patterns, behavior patterns, and I get inspired by these. And I behave and I talk in different ways. I'm thinking according to what I can understand. And whatever I will say and whatever I will do will influence others, and it will spread out again into the universe, or into this world, into this social world. So here's the same pattern, that a lot of behavior I collect during my life, I host it in myself, and I spread it out into the social surrounding. And it spreads out. So maybe I start to be alive when these particles are in my body, when this behavior is in my body, these thoughts, words and actions are me. And then when I die, I stop to do them, and I stop to keep these particles together, and they spread out again. And also as soon as I say something, or as soon as I do something, it's released into the world, and it's making waves. through the words and actions of other people who react to me or who are inspired by me.